Welcome. We're going to spend a few minutes with Sheriff Lou Evangelidis, Worcester County Sheriff and Chairman of Massport. So we'll touch a little bit on both. There's a lot going on in your life and in your world. Thank you for joining us, for starters.
Matt, it's great to be back with you. I'm looking forward to sitting down with you face to face in the studio and get to spend some time together. But this is great.
It is. It's a beginning. It's a beginning back to normalcy. You've got a couple of programs one that I know about, although it's expanded with your farm, and one a culinary program that was unfamiliar. Can you tell us a little bit about both?
Yeah, sure. Well, I've been sheriff as like 11 plus years now. So we've tried to make sure we have momentum and continue to build programming. Our goal is to make sure that people who come to our facility have an opportunity to turn their lives around. So we try to reach people wherever they can be. And as President Reagan once said, the best social program is a job. So I always look at developing job skills as one of the greatest things we can do inside the walls of this facility. And obviously, so many people come in here with drug dependency, alcohol. So we work on that. We work on mental health. We've made a huge, since I was here last with you, we've not only opened a brand new facility on site, which I know it's been covered in the media, but just to let your listening audience know, we have one of the biggest facilities ever built in Massachusetts regarding healthcare and mental health. And because of the governor, Lieutenant Governor Shrewsbury's own, helped us get it built. It took 3 years, but we have now opened up, which is a receiving corridor. And then the receiving corridor offers assessment of each individual that comes in, medically, mental health assessments, and really helps get them on the right place when they come into our facility. And the best part, in a way, Matt, is we're using the cells that the inmates come in on and get kind of evaluated after work and on the weekends. We're using them now for regional lockup. So any community like a Shrewsbury who has somebody they're keeping overnight, they can call us and we'll take them off their hands. So it kind of saves the community the idea of having to take police off the street to watch someone in a cell all night or a weekend. We're taking that on as well. So that's exciting. Oh, yeah. But the programming part, we just try to constantly add. I mean, the whole idea here is to keep momentum going. And I'm really proud you touched on it. Number one, we've always wanted a culinary program at the jail, but they're very expensive to build a culinary program. We didn't have the funding. But the jobs are there. You can imagine the restaurant industry calling us virtually anywhere I go. They're like, if you have any inmates that are interested, we are looking for people. So we always wanted to train. There's 4 different certificates you can get. Most people know the Serve Safe certificate, which is how to serve safe food. But there's also a lot of cooking and other accreditations you can get. Well, the Salter School, you may remember, was on West Boston Street where the old drive-in used to be. It went out of business. We began a conversation. We bought the entire kitchen for $5,000 and we moved it into the jail and we retrofitted it. So for very short money, we built really a state-of-the-art kitchen. And now we've partnered with Quinsigamond Community College to develop a training program for 4 certificates. So inmates that want to participate can now get certified as a restaurant worker, whether it be a cook or a staff, and walk into a job the minute they get out of here. So we're really proud of that program. We teach them high-end cooking skills, and then we actually allow their families to come in at the graduation. They get a chance to cook a meal for them and kind of build some bonding that way. So it's a great program. We have another program we started since I've been with you. Anna Maria College has developed a music program that they have in the community. We worked out a way to bring it into our facility because music is a form of therapy and it allows inmates to express themselves and bond, and it's really helping them reintegrate. So again, we want people who get out less likely to offend. The culinary program is helpful. The music program has been helpful. And as you mentioned, the last program I was going to say that's expanded probably since I last saw you, we have a very successful farming program at the jail, as we've talked about before. It's about 14 acres. We put out about 40,000 pounds of organic produce every year, saves us thousands of dollars in food at the jail. And we've distributed 500 pounds a day, Matt, goes out to the community during the growing season, whether it be squash, zucchini, green beans, tomatoes. It's a wonderful program. And I'm so proud of the team that worked there, and the inmates came to us and they said, we're disappointed the program's coming to an end in the fall. we wish we could do something more. So we actually put out to our reserve deputies the idea of sponsoring a tree. And we actually had so many donations made. We got about 20 trees that we planted, and we bought mature trees. So they're now bearing fruit already. And we're now going to contribute. We're going to continue to grow fruit right through the fall. And we're going to contribute the apples, not only grow them for the inmates, but for the community at large. So it's a wonderful opportunity, Sheriff, to continue to serve this community, to come up with new ideas. We have a tremendous team here. It's not me, Matt. It's the team we've assembled at the jail. They're very dedicated people. We work hard. We've got programs inside the facility. We've talked previously about our community centers that we have, both in Fitchburg, Worcester, and Webster. Those are really hitting full stride now and helping divert people from being incarcerated. But when they get here, we want to make sure that our reentry team gets on it. We say reentry begins on day one because we want people who get out less likely to offend than they got here. Because if they do, we all win, right? We're safer, they win. So very excited to keep the momentum going up here. And it's always great a chance to, kind of spread the word.
Oh, no, these programs, I just think the world of them. You're doing so much that's creative and innovative. And I think that's wonderful. Let's talk a little bit about Massport, because you don't have enough to do.
Right.
Yeah. What's new with the airport in Central Mass and Worcester and Massport in general?
Yeah, well, first I just want to acknowledge that, my appreciation of serving on the Massport board. And just to be clear, it has been suggested that it pads my pension. It is a voluntary board. It has no pay. But it's an honor to serve. And the lieutenant governor asked me I was their first appointment back when they got elected in 2015. And I was reappointed last year, and I'm now chairman. So it's an honor to serve as chairman of Massport. And what's particularly great for me, being a Worcester County guy and lieutenant governor being from, Worcester County, well, there's a lot of focus we put on Worcester. Worcester's only a small part of the Logan and the air travel in the operation of Massport, but it's so big for our community. So just to update people on Worcester, please consider looking at Worcester. All of the flights have essentially returned pre-COVID. I think any of us, and I know, Matt, you've been around here a long time. A lot of times people looked at the airport as one of these up and down, and maybe this would be the end of it again. And I want to assure everybody that Massport has invested $100 million in this airport. We have done runway improvements. We've done improvements to the buildings up there. We've added a Category 3 lighting system, which allows planes to take off and land in almost no visibility. So there's a lot of positive things. We've had the JetBlue flights have returned. They're flying to New York right away in the morning, so you can get a connector flight to anywhere in the world. They're flying back to Florida. We've got the Fort Lauderdale flights. We want to reestablish the Orlando flights, and we'd like to get a flight to the west coast of Florida. Delta, who had been flying to Detroit, is now rerouted those flights to New York, but they're not going to JFK. They go to LaGuardia. So you got two airports in New York you can get from Worcester to, and we've got the American flights to Philadelphia. So our idea is to continue to grow Worcester. I believe we will. The flight numbers the loads are coming back, and we are talking to other airlines. I can't say at this point we've got somebody lined up, but we are continuing to pursue airlines. And it's good to say that the airlines are pursuing us too. When we go to conferences, they come to us. We're interested in coming to Worcester. So we just got to fly Worcester. I always have to, that's my phrase. Please, we built it. Please come. Logan is showing some resilience now. Just to let you know, on any given day pre-pandemic, we were getting close to 100,000 people a day flying through Logan. But we have had some days in the last week or two where we've had over 59,000 people. So the airline industry is recovering. Obviously, these gas prices are going to have a significant impact on airfares and things that we're going to have to deal with as a nation and as individual families. But I think there's some good news coming in from Massport. Not only in Logan and the Port of Boston, which we've made some significant investments in. So now we're getting the ability to bring in some of the largest shipping vessels, the Chinese vessels, 8-story buildings with containers. We've invested in new cranes to get those ships accommodated. There's a lot of good things happening with Massport right now. The rebound and Worcester as well. So I think there's a lot of good things happening. I always love a chance to come on and share some things with you. If you had any other questions, I'm here.
No, I think that's great. A lot of good things happening both with the jail and all your programs that are associated with the jail and with Massport. So it's nice to hear in the midst of all the chaos in the world right now. It's nice to hear about a couple of positive things, a lot of positive things. And I appreciate your role in all that and leading all that. So thank you for coming. We'll have to talk again soon and maybe in person.
Well, whenever you want, Matt, you just give me a call. You know, I love coming on with you. So thanks for having me today.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
And we'll be back.